turn to your neighbor and say, these BBLs killing y'all.
Happy birthday to you.
This was Cadell Brown's final birthday. She died 4 days after this celebration. A hard-working single mum of two who'd hoped cosmetic surgery would boost her self-confidence. And so with her sister Leanne, she travelled to Turkey for a so-called mummy MOT, but never came home.
BBL, or Brazilian butt lift, is when a surgeon does liposuction, gathers the fat, and transfers it to your bottom. BBL is a high-risk procedure for a fat embolism. If you look at the screen behind me, the green zone is the fat area, which is a safe zone. This is where the surgeon can safely transfer the fat. Red area is the danger zone. It's the muscle area, and it contains arteries and veins. If the cannula enters into an artery or a vein and releases fat into the circulatory system, the fat can travel to your brain, heart, or lungs, and most times that equals death. This is a finished result of a BBL. Ask yourself, is it worth your life? My condolences.
For her, we're going to get her life back. So she just wanted to get there and have it done and get her old self back. That's all it was for her.
The sisters were enticed by a cut-price deal for flights, hotels, liposuction, a tummy tuck and a Brazilian butt lift. They chose a surgery called Clinic Expert, which bombarded them with looks they could achieve, repeatedly offering discounted extras. Leanne spoke to us alongside their other sister, Siobhan.
When you go in and you're paying, they're your best friends and they'll help you with anything, but once something goes wrong, it's left to yourself. Goodbye.
And for Cadell, something did go catastrophically wrong just hours after she took this picture.
I'd asked a few times how long she was going to be, and they just kept saying she was coming, and then I got a knock on the door and 3 people walked in and just said, can you come with us, please? It just started trying to say, you know, there's complications of surgery, and I just said, has my sister died? And he just said, I'm sorry, but yeah. They just passed me an envelope, said, this is your money back and this is your sister's money back. And they said, you fly. Sorry, she's dead. Here's a plane ticket. There were nothing.
Today is March 15th. Today makes 4 years that my mom, my siblings, and I lost my little sister who was only 22 years old. 4 years ago, my sister decided she wanted to go have surgery, have her body done. After giving birth to her little boy, she felt that having surgery was the answer for her to feel better about herself, even though she was so beautiful and she didn't need anything done to herself. So she went to a doctor in Matamoros, Mexico, and died at his hands. She died on the table while he was performing surgery on her. She went to have a BBL, and so many things went wrong. The reason we know is because we had an autopsy done on her body, and so many things were wrong. Not 1 or 2, but so many more things were wrong. He messed up tremendously on her, and it cost her her life.
Leanne was refused access to Cadell's body. When it was finally returned to the UK, more devastating news was to come. To their horror, a coroner here told them that large parts of Cadell's organs, including her brain and heart, had been removed.
When they returned her body, they'd kept pieces of her heart and her intestines.
How hard was that to hear?
Baby, I don't think it was allowed, but they said it's legal, they can take what they want. I thought you'd have to ask at least permission from family before you took anything, but...
They sent a death certificate straight away and just put there's not even a cause of death.
We wanted to investigate this further in Turkey, but authorities there refused our visas, providing no reason why. From their Istanbul surgery, Clinic Expert insists that no evidence of organ trauma was found, and Cadell's body left them untouched. They say an internal review found no malpractice, and her death was likely caused by fat blocking a blood vessel, a risk in this type of surgery.
If the cannula enters into an artery or a vein and releases fat into the circulatory system, the fat can travel to your brain, heart, or lungs, and most times that equals death.
Günaydın, ben operatör doktor Sinem Sıngın.
ITV News can reveal Dr. Sinem Singhan is the surgeon who operated on Kaydel. She's now left clinic expert but is performing the same procedure elsewhere. She refused an interview on camera but told us Kaydel's death was due to a known complication of such surgery, not medical malpractice. Back at Clinic Expert, the relentless pursuit of British business continues. Using an ITV News undercover reporter, we held a consultation with a telesales agent at the clinic.
I'm just looking to get more information on the mummy makeover. As you can see, I'm just all a bit, I really want to go ahead with it. I've been thinking about it for a while, but you hear all these stories about things going wrong.
No, miss, we are performing a tummy tuck procedure, every day at least 6 or 7 cases.
We have confirmed 2 deaths at the clinic since 2011, figures not disclosed during our recording.
What's the worst thing that can happen with this, and has anyone ever died?
I can truly say that I never ever faced of this kind of serious experience in my entire career.
During our investigation, Kaydel's sister informs us of an update.
Hello Rachel, we will be at Sheffield Coroner's Court tomorrow.
A fresh pathology report has allowed an inquest into Kaydel's death to be opened. We were with Leanne as she expressed her relief that the case was now in the UK courts.
Things can't be hidden anymore, and they know what happened now, so it's just gathering that evidence.
And they want to use that evidence to warn the 150,000 Britons who travel to Turkey every year for cosmetic surgery. 28 have died at clinics across Turkey since 2019, and many hundreds more suffer complications.
I still talk about this 4 years later because I want women to know that it's not worth it. I wish I would have been able to talk to my sister more about it, but she didn't tell me anything. She made that decision and she kept it from her sisters because she was convinced that it's what she needed, when in reality that wasn't what she needed. People go and have surgery like this because they're seeking a happiness that they're not going to find. They're going to feel good about themselves for a moment, but they're not going to find that happiness, that genuine fulfillment that they're looking for, because only God can give that happiness and only God can give that fulfillment. But 4 years ago, we lost my baby sister who was very healthy, 22 years old. She didn't need the surgery. She didn't need it at all. But she was convinced that it was what she needed. And I talk about it because it makes me upset that there's so many women that put it out there to try to convince other women that it's what they need as well. They put it out there like it's something so simple, but it's so dangerous. So many things can go wrong. And in my sister's case, everything went wrong and she lost her life. And there's so many other women who lose their life, and so many women who came forward and said that they had the surgery and they highly regret it because they have so many complications now and because they didn't stay the same. So if you're thinking about having surgery, don't do it. BBLs, fat transfers, all that stuff, it's not worth it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. The details about my sister's surgery are very, very disturbing. But I really think that women should be informed.
Plastic surgeon Dr. Harper Machin is seeing more and more patients needing corrective surgery in the UK following procedures overseas.
Bleeding and blood collections that would need to go back to the operating theatre to be stopped are obviously a very immediate complication that, yes, would be apparent in the very short term after the surgery. But things like serious infections, sepsis, wound breakdown, skin necrosis or death of the skin, for example in a tummy tuck where the skin is incredibly tight once it's been removed, those things are only apparent in the days, weeks, months after the surgery.
Complications that Kaydel's family wish they'd known more about, as they now live with the heartbreaking consequences.
Anyone that meets her will say, she just smiled, she laughed.
Just miss picking up the phone and talking to her.
What was she like as a sister?
Loving, lovely, caring.
Yeah.
Funny.
This family has lost a mum, daughter, sister and a best friend, and none of them know exactly why.
What's mine? And the thighs don't match. Well.
Is it worth it? You decide. Hold tight. We're gone again.